Time to
When
listen
you
to
do
them.
something public,
Have you ever called me once in your life before you made that video?
I don't need to call you.
You don't-
What
isn't
is
that
the
the adab
what is the
of
hukum? No. What is the hukum of someone who does shar publicly? Is it allowed? Is it permissible? Jais, for
Imam
to
Al-Dahabi
criticize
says
someone?
in Lisan al-Mizan, if I saw someone doing evil, I would not rebuke them until I talk to them.
If I saw someone doing evil, you're promoting evil. You're promoting it.
You're playing
and
with semantics.
I'm not
My
playing with
advice to you is this.
Tell me,
My advice is
here,
this.
I'll ask the audience. I'm ignorant. I'm not a sheikh. I never claimed to be a sheikh. Here's a question
But
for
you
the
think you
audience. No, I'm not at all. I'm
Then
not a
why-
sheikh.
why are
I'm
you
jahil.
always-
I'm jahil. Here's a question for the audience. Can Muslim women pose in pornographic magazines? No. Okay. Then why is Imam Suhaib promoting a Muslima in a pornographic magazine?
Did she post nude in that magazine?
I don't know. I didn't look. Did she?
Yeah, exactly. You didn't look.
Should I open Playboy magazine?
You
Should
didn't
I
do
open
research.
Playboy magazine?
You didn't
Should
do
I open
research.
Playboy magazine?
Before you
Should I
criticize,
open
it should
Playboy
be on both
magazine
hands.
and see if she's
The
naked or
man,
not?
the man just admitted that he did not do the research. You know why?
Yeah, I didn't
She
open
did an
Playboy.
interview for the magazine, like Malcolm X did an interview for the same magazine. You are
Were her
incorrect.
pictures in the magazine?
So this is the point, and I'll finish here now. That the man does not do research before he criticizes people, and I gave 3 examples, and he has a camera and a mic. Next time, Azizan,
No, sorry.
call
You just
me.
admit- you just told me to read
Call me.
Playboy magazine to read the interview.
I told you read the article, you freak. You were thinking about Playboy magazine. I said read the article. Read her article. You can access the article without looking at the magazine. The problem we have here is you don't know how to do research, and that's why you lie about Umm Sulaiman. You lie about me. You lie about everybody. And the way you're paid.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Attacking the ulama. Assalamu alaikum. Run away.
How embarrassing this is to watch. How embarrassing for us as Muslims, and to see those that are heavily involved in the da'wah scene, from people like Sheikh Suhaib Webb. Many years ago he reverted, and he, mashallah, studied knowledge and Al-Azhar, graduated. But then for him to call out Daniel Haqiqatjou like that in a masjid, in the house of Allah, this is the house of Allah, it has its own adab, its own etiquettes. This is where we silence ourselves, and you silence the personality and your ego, put it aside. Okay, and he called him out, and of course Daniel Haqiqatjou took the opportunity. And you study this from a mental health perspective. It's all ego. It's all ego. Confrontation of one da'iyah to another. And there's good in both, right? So even Daniel Haqiqatjou, the thing is he has his place. He's good at debating with atheists, etc., etc. It's sad to see that figures like this in the da'wah scene in the West are resorting to such childish, bickering dialogue. But the way they confronted each other, especially with Daniel, it's not normal, man. And this is a mental health issue. This is definitely a mental health issue, man. It goes beyond simply, enjoining good and forbidding evil, right? It's deeper than that, Call it what you want, someone's 5 or 15 minutes of fame. It should not resort to this. This is not the showing of unity. Yes, as he calls it, shar, and shar needs to be called out, yeah? Right is right and wrong is wrong, and it needs to be called out. But it's got to be done in a proper way. It's got to be done in a way that is suitable and appropriate for the da'wah scene, for people that are speaking about knowledge. We're speaking about the legacy and the turath of our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. This is not the way to do it. This is not the way believers and Muslims do it. It's just not. And it's sad that Sheikh, to be fair, Sheikh Suhaib should not have come down to his level. He should not have come down to his level. I mean, Daniel was just wrong to even pursue this. Sheikh Suhaib was wrong to call him out in a masjid, in a Bayt Allah, in the house of Allah, the way he did, in a very kind of egotistical way. Allah forgive him and forgive us all, and forgive Daniel too. And then Daniel obviously jumped on it and pounced on the opportunity, and obviously came out with the cameras and the mic. And unfortunately, there's a hadith of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ we need to be aware of. Inna abghad al-rijali inda Allahi al-aladul khasim. Indeed, the most hated of men to Allah are those that are the most quarrelsome of opponents, the most quarrelsome and argumentative of opponents. And this is not a good sign. It's a sign of nifaq, in fact, right? Allah mentions the munafiqeen in the Quran, huwa alladul khisam. They show you that, they have iman, they speak wa yushidullah ala ma fi qalbihi. وَهُوَ لَدُّ الْخِصَامِ, Allah tells us, and he bears witness and swears to Allah what is in his heart from iman, but he is the most quarrelsome of opponents. And this is the sign of who? The munafiqeen. And then Allah continues saying they spread corruption in the earth. So I'm not saying that about Daniel, and I'm not saying that about Suhaib, with none of them. But my point is to always want to argue and be argumentative and debate and debate and debate. What are you debating on? For who? And for how many likes? What is it for? We've got to question our intentions and question why are we doing this? Because this is just, to watch this, it's embarrassing. It's sad to see that our imams and du'at and ulama and those that are giving da'wah have come down to this. They're attacking each other now. They're attacking each other. As one of the brothers says, here in the West, it's just unregulated. There's no hold, but everything's open. There's nothing regulated by, a Muslim government or Islamic kind of governing body. It's just, you can do what you want. And we need to remember, this is not the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If the ignorant people, if the ignorant people addresses them, just say Assalamu alaikum. What is it? What is really going on? We need a question. What's the intention, akhi? And why do you always feel the need to argue and to bring others down from their whatever position Allah has given them as an imam or a sheikh, whether you like it or not? Why do you feel the need to always bring them down? But may Allah guide us. This is kind of really to watch this. It was just cringe, man. It was proper cringe. Allah guide us all. Subhanallah, sallallahu alaihi wa sallam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yahdina, yuwahid sufuf al-muslimin. May Allah guide us and unite the ranks of the Muslims. Allahumma ameen.